What's up, everybody? This is the Healing Kings podcast, and I'm your host, Drew Cross. Today, I'm going to talk about something that James Clear missed in Atomic Habits. No, he didn't miss it, but I want to piggyback off something that he said, something that I've used for my life for years, and something that I know is going to help you guys out. So, in this episode, we're going to talk about, how do you build habits? Why do we build habits? How do you break habits? I'm a firm believer that if you have good habits, you can have a different lifestyle depending on those habits. If you have habits that deter you a lot, aka bad habits, that's going to also affect your life. So let's just dig in. I had a student and they wanted to build a habit of posting consistently on social media. Social media is a big part of their business. If you're not using social media as a business owner, it is something that you should think about because media is important and a lot of social media is free advertisement. And their habit that they currently had was they were going to post once a week. Now, automatically, if I went to content coach Drew, I would say that's probably not enough, right? You want to be looking at least 3 times a week. I would honestly say once a day because of the algorithm, because of how much content people are consuming. Yours can just get lost in the weeds. So they wanted to build the habit of posting every day. The first thing I told them is you need to not compare yourself to somebody else right now. If you compare yourself to somebody who posts twice a day, you're gonna probably get overwhelmed. If you compare yourself to somebody who has a videographer or a team, you're gonna get overwhelmed. So that's one. You don't need to compare yourself to anybody else in a way where you feel that you need to become them. If you're looking at them for maybe ideas or just a roadmap, that's cool. But usually we start comparing ourselves and it becomes really, really ugly. We try to do what Alex Hermosi does. So shout outs to Alex Hermosi. I love Alex Hermosi, and Layla Hermosi. I have nothing against them. They have a media team where they pay them $30,000 a month. That's important for them because they market and they make the money to do so. Now, with that being said, they have a team who can just have them shoot, cut up a lot of videos and things like that. You may not have that. So comparing, the first thing I told him to do was, how can you make this habit easy? How can you make this habit easy to do on your worst days? And I said, let's come up with a plan for that. So if you think that your first day needs to be where you're shooting and you have a 10-minute video, you have video editing. If you're not used to that, that's going to be really, really hard to maintain. The goal for habits is to make it a lifestyle. The goal for habits isn't to have just a finish line. It's to become a lifestyle so that it becomes a part of your life. So I said, how can you make this easy? And they said, um, I can go to this certain spot every day and shoot a video. And I said, what if it rains? What if it snows? Can you still get to that spot? You want to think about, am I making it easy or am I making it hard? So I said, instead of thinking about a spot specifically, how about we think I'm going to just turn my phone on every day, right? It could be at a certain time, it could not be. I'm going to turn my phone on every day and I'm going to shoot this video. I'm going to make sure that I check it off and I give myself a small reward after every 5 days or something like that. Make it easy to do, but also make it easy where you don't actually make it easy to do on your worst days. When we try to form new habits, we often don't think that we're gonna get discouraged. We're not gonna feel motivated all the time. We're not gonna feel as inspired as we did on our first day. Those things happen. Those things happen. You can't get around those things. So first one is, how can I make it easy? If we put like a subject or a subtopic, how can I make it easy to do on my worst days? The second thing would be, do I have, am I clinging to an identity that I'm not willing to let go? Usually habits are really hard because we feel that things have to be a certain way all the time. This is who I am. This is how I always do it. That could be further from the truth. Are you willing to let go of part of your identity to build this new habit? Can you? One thing that was hard for me when I was building a new habit was the habit I wanted to build at the time was I went from studying for an hour to studying for 30 minutes. I was getting more out of the 30 minutes because the hour was just it was so early in the morning. The hour was making me dreary. I was in and out of my thoughts. 30 minutes became way better for me. I could hit it every day. I was learning, I was receiving, but my identity, so to say, was telling me if you're not doing an hour, it's not right. It's not right. So getting unchained or unshackled from your identity is a issue. How do you do that, Drew? You slowly stop worrying about the old identity and you slowly start pouring yourself into the new identity. What would I do now? This is who I'm becoming. What I was before is okay, but I'm becoming somebody totally new. Become okay with that. When we usually look at habit breaking, we usually look at habit breaking as this is so bad. I should not be doing this. This is harming me so much. I should know better. You don't need to have this whole you don't need to start judging yourself and be condemned and things like that. You could literally just start going towards a better habit. I suggest that. So I want to make it easy to do. I want to also make it easy to do my worst day. I want to unhinge or um, not be chained to my old identity when I'm forming or breaking new habits. The next one is the consistency muscle. What is this gonna look like? I'm all about starting small. I like small starts. I like small starts for the sake of if you start small, you can actually build momentum versus having to always come back down. So even when people start off with fitness, some of the goals I give people starting off with fitness is can you go to the gym 3 days a week for 15 to 30 minutes? And they're like, I really want this. I'm going to go every day. I'm like, yeah, you're going to do that for 2 weeks. And then the third week, you're going to figure out that it's not going to be as easy as you thought it was. How can I make this easy? How can I not um, cling to this old identity? But how can I make this a journey of consistent wins or just consistently showing up? I need to start small. I need to start small. One of my goals, I've done videos a lot, but one of my goals from December to March was to shoot 70 videos and them be 10 minutes long or more. Now, for some people, you may say that's a lot of time. For me, it's a muscle I want to work out. I feel comfortable with the consistent muscle around 10 minutes and pretty sure it's going to actually graduate. But it's something that I know I can carve out 10 minutes in the morning. I can carve out 10 minutes to get this done. And it helps me. There's nothing wrong with starting small. Starting small increases momentum, motivation, the muscle of consistency, and it also helps you get out of your head when you don't have a lot of time. Now, if I told this person, 5 days a week, 30 minutes would be better, it might be, but not right now. So you have to think about these habits that I want to form. Can I do these in the season of my life right now? When I had Aaliyah, when she first was born, certain things were not making sense for me. Like I couldn't go to the gym for as long or as much as I wanted to because I had a different priority at that time. I had something else that was in the time frame that I would be doing something else. So be willing to adjust also, but be willing to start small. So to summarize this, you want to make sure that you can make it easy to do on your worst days. Make it easy. You don't need to make it hard. Everything doesn't need to be like a big task. Second thing is, I want to unhinge or be unchained from the old identity. The third thing is, I want to be consistent and I can start small. So here's the challenge I want for you. I want you to write down one habit you want to make or one habit you want to form, or one habit you want to become, so to say. And I want you to think of one habit that you want to unhinge from, or one habit you want to break. Let me know what those are, and I want to give you some tips and tricks on how you can actually do that beyond what we just talked about in this podcast. As always, guys, go be great.